Señoritas y señores, bienvenidos a otro video para la clase de español nivel número 1. Español 1. Número 1. You guys are número 1. Welcome back. Welcome back to la clase de español and welcome back to your Spanish 1 homework videos. And this is going to be grammar for chapter 6B. Capítulo 6B, ladies and gentlemen. And so thanks for joining Señor Barbosa here after school. Después de la escuela, aquí estoy. So thanks for joining me as always. And let's take a look at what you got to do for chapter 6B, grammar, señoritas y señores. All right, so the theme of the chapter, if you're not aware by now, the name of the chapter is ¿Cómo es tu casa? What's your house like? All right, so hopefully by now you've been able to make flashcards, or you've been able to practice a little bit the vocabulary that has to do with the rooms around your house. Also, some chores that you might do around the house. You know, make sure that you help out. Por favor, make sure you help out around the house. Let's see here. There it is. Okay, yeah, look at all these chores that you can do around the house to help out, okay? No free rides. Por favor, help out your madre y padre. Don't make them do all the hard work, all right? So make sure that you guys put in your share of keeping the house nice and neat. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go to the first lesson in the chapter, which is something called affirmative to commands. And some of you guys who like to be bossy, and some of you who like to boss people around, you're going to like this lesson because you're going to be telling people what to do, all right? Now, let's recap. There's two ways to say, well, for now, anyway, Spanish 1. There's two ways to say, two primary ways to say you in Spanish when you're talking to one person. Remember that you say tú if you're talking to somebody your age, somebody informally, dressed down. But don't forget, you can also talk to somebody using usted, but that's more formal when it's all dressed up, when you're talking to a grown-up, somebody important, all right? So when you're telling somebody what to do, you're going to use these for somebody that you're familiar with, somebody who's a buddy of yours, somebody like a hermano or a hermana, you know. Do not use any of what I'm about to show you. Don't use any of these on the principal or a police officer or a senior citizen. No, because that's going to be something called usted commands, and that's some other lesson for some other time. All right, but here you're going to be learning how to tell somebody what to do in an informal way, dressed down, like I said, flip-flops, muscle shirts, you know, snapbacks. But do not use these on grandma, for example, or else you'll get the chancla. And for those of you who don't know what a chancla is, why don't you go ahead and Google it? And if you're from a Mexican family like I am, then you'll know the hard way what that's all about. All right, here we go. Affirmative to commands. Telling people what to do. This is going to be based on the information that you see on page 305, página 305. And feel free to read all of this right over here in order for you to get someone to do what you want them to do. But I've got a PowerPoint right over here that's going to, be an easy way to remember how to tell someone what to do in Español. And again, the whole thing is called affirmative to commands. Okay, affirmative because these are like all requests for somebody to do something, do this and do that and do these and do those. Okay. Now, whereas negative commands would be don't do this, don't do that, don't do these, don't do those. Okay, but we're gonna stick with the do's, and then the don'ts will be another lesson for another day. All right. And again, once again, you're talking to tú, not usted. Keep that in mind. All right. So let's take a look. In Spanish, ladies and gentlemen, when you want to tell a friend or somebody your age or a brother or sister or anybody informally to do something, you use affirmative to commands. Look at these examples right over here. If you want someone to eat, come is what you tell them. If you want someone to walk, camina is what you tell them. If you want someone to sleep, duerme is what you say, okay? Now, what looks familiar about these endings? Well, I can tell you right now that these are all variations of A-R-E-R-I-R ending infinitives, okay? These are all conjugations here. Yeah. If you notice that, for example, the first one is based off of comer, an ER ending verb. And if you remember your conjugations in the present tense, yo como, I eat, tú comes, you eat, usted, él, ella come. Usted, él, ella come. Hey, look at that. You or he or she eats. Wow, it's the same spelling as usted, él, ella conjugation. And that doubles up as your request to have someone do exactly that. Eat. Come. Camina. That's from caminar. Yo camino, I walk. Tú caminas, you walk. Usted, él, ella camina. Oh, look at that. All right. So, one way to approach all of these affirmative to commands is if you know how to conjugate your verbs in the usted, él, ella form in the present tense, many times you'll have your affirmative to command. Cool. However, there's another way that you can get to the same result. And how do you do it? Well, let me show you. To state the do's of most verbs, in other words, affirmative commands, here's what you can do. Take the do form of the verb when you conjugate it in the present tense. Okay, so for example, caminar, and then change it to the do form, which is caminas. Take comer, ER ending infinitive, and then change it to the to form, comes. And then take dormir, and then conjugate it to the do form, present tense, duermes. And then all you got to do is lop off the last letter, the letter S, and look at that. You wind up with the same exact result, okay? So look at this. Camina, come, duerme. Isn't that neat? All right. So there's a couple ways you can approach this. Let's recap. You can either take your infinitive and conjugate it in the usted, él, ella form. In fact, that's how the book explains it. Or you can do what you see right here on the screen right now. Change it to the tú form of the present tense. Change your infinitive to the tú form of the present tense. And then when you have it ending in an S, just lop off the S. Just get rid of the S, and then you wind up with the same exact spelling, the same exact affirmative to command. All right. So whichever way you decide to formulate your affirmative to command, you wind up with the same result. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So what if I want to tell someone to open the window? Well, take a look at this example. The verb that I need is abrir, to open, right? Great. So if you want to follow this strategy, check it out. Put it in the tú form. Abres is what you get, because remember, yo abro, I open. Tú abres, you open. And we stop right there. Drop the S in abres. So then you're left with abre. And through the magic of verb conjugations en Español, look at that. Abre la ventana. Open the window. And that is your affirmative to command to tell someone in an informal way. Open the window. Abre la ventana. Neat, right? Okay, cool. Let's try the next one. You want someone to talk right now or speak right now? Well, you're going to use the verb hablar. Your infinitive is hablar. And then put hablar in the tú form. Don't forget, yo hablo, I speak. Tú hablas, you speak. Well, we're going to stop right there. And then we're going to take hablas. Drop the S in habla. Habla ahora. Speak now. All right? Yeah, look at that. You want someone to drink water? Take beber. All right? And then, of course, tú bebes, you drink in the present tense. Get rid of that last letter, and now you have bebe. Bebe agua. Drink water. And, of course, if you want to use tomar, which also means to drink, then it's the same procedure. Take the tú form of tomar in the present tense, and that's tomas. Drop the S. Toma agua. Okay? Don't forget, these are all informal commands. In other words, you're telling somebody in an informal way to do all these things, okay? And all of these requests or all of these commands are very helpful when you want someone to clean house, okay? So once again, the theme of the chapter is, what you're doing around the house and all the chores that you have to do around the house. Then these are what you use to tell someone to clean house. All right. All right. There are a few irregular commands that they have no formula. All right. You cannot do any of this mumbo jumbo. You're gonna have to just memorize. You're gonna have to memorize what they turn into. All right. There's no formula for these. If you want someone to do any of these actions, you're gonna have to just memorize these commands. Here we go. If you want someone to tell the truth, you're gonna have to use the verb decir, which means to say. And don't bother doing any of this stuff. It's not gonna work. Okay. So now you gotta just memorize this. You tell them di la verdad. Tell the truth. All right. All right. Take the verb hacer. Pretend you want someone to make the bed. Again, none of this is going to work for hacer. So what you're going to have to do is just memorize this command. Haz. Haz la cama. Make the bed. All right. You're telling someone to make the bed. Make the bed. Haz la cama. Ir. You're telling someone to go. Again, none of this is going to work. So you have to memorize this command. Ve. Okay? Ve. Just ve. Go. Sometimes you can say vete. Get yourself out of here. Okay? Ser. To be. You have to memorize this. Tell someone to be a certain way. Sé simpático. Be nice. Sé simpático. Be nice. Now watch out, because this sé can also mean I know, sé, but in this context right here, this sé right here means to be a certain way. Hey, be nice. Sé simpático, okay? Poner, to set or to put something. All right, if you want someone to set the table, tell them pon la mesa. Set the table, pon la mesa. You want someone to come over here? You have to use venir, and you tell that person, ven aquí. Ven aquí. Ven. Come here. Ven. All right? And if you want someone to have something or to be a certain way, for example, if you want someone to be careful, take the verb tener, and if you want to give them something, you say ten. Or if you want to tell them be careful, ten cuidado. All right. Once again, ten cuidado. Maybe somebody's bugging you and you want them to leave or to exit. You have to use the verb salir, and so you're gonna have to tell them sal. Sal pa fuera. Okay, get out of here. Go outside. Salte. Sometimes you can say salte, but sal is what you would tell someone to just leave. Okay, so if you got a little brother, little sister who's kind of bugging you, just tell them sal. And again, sal also means salt in Spanish, but here it means for someone to leave. Okay, and then finally, you want someone to maintain a certain behavior, mantener. Then this is what you tell that person: mantén. Like if you're driving on the freeway, speed in Spanish is la velocidad. If you want someone to maintain that same speed, safe driving speed, mantén la velocidad. Mantén la velocidad. Hey, maintain that same speed. Don't go any faster, or else you'll get a ticket. Okay. So let's recap. Most verbs, you're able to do this procedure that I showed you right over here. Okay, you can take your A-R-E-R-I-R infinitive, change it in the tu form, and then that's going to give you a conjugation that ends in S, and then you drop the S, and then you're going to be able to tell someone what to do with that new spelling. Most of the time you can do that, but with these right over here, you cannot. So, once again, di, haz, ve, se, pon, ven, ten, sal, mantén. All right? And that is how you tell somebody in an informal way what to do. Okay? Hey. Hey. What you doing? What you doing? ¿Qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué estás haciendo? And what that's asking in Spanish is, what are you doing? But right now, okay? If you ask ¿qué haces? That means, what are you doing? But if you ask ¿qué estás haciendo? What are you doing right now? And we're about to learn how to say what people are doing right now. And this is going to be the last grammar lesson in Chapter 6b in your textbook, Página 308, page 308. This is something called the present progressive tense. Now, that's a very fancy title for something that actually is kind of easy when you get the hang of it. But take a look at this box in the upper right-hand corner of page 308 in your textbook. It says, ¿Recuerdas? You use the present tense to talk about an action that regularly takes place or that is happening now. So pretend that we have our friend Paco. He's washing dishes. We say in Spanish, Paco lava los platos. All right? Because lavar is your AR ending infinitive. That means to wash. And yo lavo, I wash. Tú lavas, you wash. Paco lava, he washes. Okay? But what if we want to say that he's washing dishes right now? Well, this is what we say. Paco está lavando los platos. Paco está lavando los platos. Take a look at the blue letters right over here. Paco está lavando los platos. He's washing dishes right now. All right? So that's going to tell the person you're talking to that something is happening right now, or he's doing an action right now. So how do we get there? Well, let's take a look at the PowerPoint. Once again, this is something called the present progressive tense, fancy title for something that hopefully actually is muy fácil. But let's take a look. All right. You're going to need to form the present progressive tense with two parts. All right, there's two parts in this formula. Let's analyze the two parts and what they are, okay? All right, check it out. Let's take an example. Let's suppose that people are eating. Let's say they are eating. And what you say in Spanish is están comiendo. Están comiendo. Okay? So, the two parts that you're going to need in order for you to form the present progressive tense is a conjugated verb, or I'm sorry, the conjugated form of the verb estar. All right? And in this case, it's están because they're the ones who are eating. Plus something called a present participle, okay? The whole skill is called present progressive tense, but this part of the sentence is referred to as the present participle. A lot of terminology for this lesson, okay? So just try to follow along. But there you go, okay? So están, which is a conjugated form of the verb estar, present tense, and then comiendo, which is the action that those people are doing right now. Están comiendo, okay? So those are the two parts to our, what do you call it, our formula. So how do you know when to, or how do you know how to spell the new present participle? Well, here's what you do. If your verb ends in AR, like hablar, lavar, caminar, let's see, pasar la aspiradora to vacuum, sacar la basura to take out the trash. If any of your AR infinitives are at play here, then what you're going to do is that you're going to drop the AR and replace the AR with ANDO. So now you have lavando and sacando and hablando and caminando, okay? And if your verb ends in, or if your infinitive ends in ER or IR, like, let's see, ER ending comer, beber, all right? So what you do there is you take those infinitives, drop the ER for ER ending infinitives, and then you add yendo. So comiendo, bebiendo, all right? Same thing if they end in IR. So escribir, escribiendo, all right? Vivir, viviendo. You see that? All right. So once again, yeah. So basically, it's going to be a form of the verb estar in the present tense. Either estoy, estás, está, estamos, or están, depending on who's the one doing the action, plus your ando or yendo present participle. And you put them together, and the whole thing forms the present progressive tense, okay? Ellos están comiendo ensaladas. They are eating salads right now. Sure, you could say ellos comen ensaladas, but that's not going to be specific enough if you want to know what they're doing right now. Están comiendo is what you would say. All right? So when you're forming this part of the whole thing, keep the stem, and then, so for example, this is from the verb comer, okay? So you keep the com in comer, and then you get rid of the er and replace it with iendo, kind of like Lego blocks, okay? You drop or you break off a couple of Lego pieces and you put in some new pieces. That's basically Spanish verbs in a nutshell. Comiendo, okay? Yeah. Let's try bailar, to dance, okay? If I'm dancing, estoy bailando. If you're dancing, estás bailando. Usted, él, ella está bailando. Usted está bailando. Él está bailando. Ella está bailando. Nosotros, sometimes nosotras, estamos bailando. We are dancing right now. Ustedes, you guys, ellos or ellas, they, están bailando. Okay, you guys are dancing, they are dancing. So as you can see, once you form the word bailando, that stays the same throughout, but the thing that changes here is the verb estar, because again, you're indicating who's doing the action right now. If it's me, it's estoy bailando. If it's you, it's estás bailando, and so on, okay? So that's an example of an AR ending infinitive, where you drop the AR, you put ando in its place, and now you have bailando, and then you just, put the appropriate form of the verb estar depending on who's the one doing that action right now, all right? I already showed you comer, but let's just watch it, or let's just see it one more time. Okay. Estoy comiendo. Estás comiendo. Usted, él, ella está comiendo. Nosotros estamos comiendo. We are eating right now. Ustedes, ellos, ellas están comiendo. You guys or they are eating right now. Okay. And then finally, let's take a look at an example for an IR ending action. Escribir. Okay. Once again, it's going to be either estoy, estás, estamos. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, or están, depending on who's the one writing right now. And then to form your ando or yendo action, drop the IR in escribir and put on yendo in its place. Estoy escribiendo, I am writing right now. Estás escribiendo, you are writing right now. And then the rest. Usted, él, ella está escribiendo. Nosotros estamos escribiendo. Ustedes, ellos, ellas están escribiendo. And that is how present progressive tense works, okay? And so feel free to look in the libro once again. And it'll kind of give you some more tips, hints, and tricks. I will tell you right now, if you're trying to use the verb leer, there's a slight spelling change. Leer has an irregular spelling in the present participle. Leyendo. Look at that. You have to change the E to a Y. The second E in leer to a Y. Leyendo. That's Spanish right there. Sometimes you're going to have to make those slight tweaks, but the concept's still the same. All right? When you want to emphasize that somebody's doing something right now, that's what you do, the present progressive tense. Okay, great. That is going to do it, señoritas y señores, for me, myself, Señor Barbosa. Es muy tarde. Es muy tarde. Hopefully I have a hot meal waiting for me at home. I hope it's enchiladas, because a mí me encantan las enchiladas. But there it is. If you're taking me for Spanish 1 currently, por favor, please leave a comment below for the points. But then also, don't watch this video just once. Watch it again. Watch it a third time. Watch it as many times as you need to. Go back, pause, rewind. Go back. Nobody rewinds anymore. We don't have tapes anymore. But you know what I mean, okay? So I'm here to help you out. And I hope Spanish is important enough for you to do the research and to practice. Okay, so muchas gracias a todos. That is going to be it for me, Señor Barbosa. And thank you for watching. I will catch you en la clase de español. Adiós.